Now, I was absent for a stats conference, but as we all know, eventually Miss Compton's going to be absent a lot. In fact, I have an absence, I forgot what day next week, but one day next week for a doctor's appointment. So that's going to be part of our life now. We're going to somehow have to still be productive. And the sub wrote an interesting note about you.
About me?
No, about all of you entirely, which, you know, is 100% true at this moment. That everyone completed, wait. In the beginning of class, I had told several students to put their phones away, games, texting, etc., so they would watch the video. Well, I mean, that is what we're having an issue with right now, and I'm here in person talking. So I can see why when I was on a video you didn't want to watch. But if you think, like, I'm here to save you now, and I do love you, and so sadly, even though I shouldn't save you, I do try to save you. And I say nice things like, don't you try to put that away and take notes? But eventually there's going to come a point in time where you are on your own, and I'm not here to save you and save that grade. So you have got to make the choice that I want to be a productive citizen. And if Ms. Compton leaves the video, I probably should take notes on it. It's probably going to come up not only on a checkpoint, but a test. Okay, in fact, the checkpoints, let's talk about it. I have quite a few who passed the first time. And I wasn't here, so you had to learn from a video, and you passed the first time. That's terrific. Wasn't that hard of a lesson? You're good at graphing inequalities. Some people who didn't pass had a simple issue. They, you don't have to pick on you. Kelsey got confused with the dotted and the solid, and so did about 5 other people. So she is not the only one. The dotted and the solid of less than and less than or equal to threw her a loop. Everything else on her checkpoint is correct, but the tiny thing with dotted and solid she's going to fix. In fact, there are like 4 of those where I wrote the same note. Tiny issues about solid and dotted. And then there are a couple who messed up on their checkpoint because there's 1, 2, 3 of those. There's probably more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 who their slopes are incorrect. So my hint to you again, because I struggle with slope, I do, is that if it's a negative slope, your line is supposed to lean to the left, and if it's a positive slope, it's supposed to lean to the right. So here's Hunter's on top, so he won't mind. He had a positive slope. His line leans to the right. That part's completely correct. He has a shading issue I'm going to talk about in just a second. But besides that, like, positive slope leans to the right. Hey, I know I'm right. And there are about 5 who are like me and slope impaired. Happy to the best of it. If you're slope impaired, you're going to have to fix that. Okay, Hunter is already on the screen, so I can pick on his. Hunter does a good job. So in my video, what do I use when I do notes?
Colors.
He can have a point. I use colors. So I did it, and they did it on hers too, which I appreciate. When I shade, I use colors. They did a blue and a purple, and where they overlap, she colored green. Now, I appreciate that, and it makes my life easier. I understand if she had made a mistake, she would need a new blank copy, and now me and Day are killing trees. We understand that. But that's okay. It makes my life easier, and I appreciate that. Sorry, Mr. Tree. Now, Hunter's trying to make my life easier because he put answer, and there are a lot of people who in the double shaded region put an A or something. And then there are sweet souls, mostly from this group, strangely enough. Sweet souls from mostly table 1 that I can't tell. In fact, here's one of them. I can't tell where the double overlap is. Like, I know it's supposed to be here, and I want it to be here, but I really can't tell. So my suggestion is either colors, or I have a really good checkpoint I'll show you. Mia does a really light shade when they're not overlapping. And then when they are overlapping, clearly she does a more defined shade. So either you need to be like Mia and super light and then super bare down, or you need to be like me and Day and use colors. But there are about 6 people in the room who I can't tell where your answer is. And if I can't tell where your answer is, and if this was a test, I'm going to go with is wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're gonna get these back in just a second. We've got to fix them. In just a second. I gotta write down some facts first. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The 2 of you is going to be the shading thing. I just can't tell where the double overlap is. If we'll make it more defined, or write answer on the top, the way I'm going to write answer where his double overlap is, then I can know where it is. Okay. Okay, I want to go over, you don't got on any math. I want to go over the math workshop, and I want to talk about what else is happening this week. Okay, so it's been a terrible week productivity-wise, because Monday you were off, Tuesday I had a conference, Wednesday we had PSAT, so it's our first normal day of the week, and it's Thursday. And then tomorrow afternoon's messed up field day, but thankfully tomorrow morning's not. Okay, so if we're looking, let me remind you of the very front page of your packet. So if we're really thinking these through, Seth took a 3.1 test that made this pass report card, which I believe he got 100 on. And a lot of people did get 100 because they worked that hard on it. So you took a 3.1 test already. So you've already been tested on graphing, substitution, and elimination. So my gosh, I pray you got that together by now. You've already been tested on it, but don't worry, you're about to be tested on it again. Okay, so we spent last Friday and last Thursday doing systems with 3 variables. That's that coloring page worksheet. And if there's one place you should be stuck, it should be with the 3 variables. This is hard. I gave you the key to that coloring page last week. Hopefully you or a friend took a picture of it, wrote down something. That is due at the end of class tomorrow. Your coloring page is due at the end of class tomorrow. There's someone in the room who already got it done and already turned it in. Yes. From last Thursday and Friday. So you need me to remind you what it looks like? Do you have your coloring paper, Sarah? Don't get your coloring paper handy. From last Thursday and Friday. Bless you, Kate. Okay. Paige has hers. Remember we went over how to do the colored answers, and so Paige has some work. We talked about how to rewrite the equations in standard form, so you could always do substitution. Always do elimination, because Paige doesn't like substitution. We spent a lot of time on how to do this coloring page, but literally, all I care about is, did Seth try on the 10 problems? By the end of class tomorrow, has Seth tried on the 10 problems? It especially helps that I'm giving you the key.
Now, when you say try,
you should succeed since you're giving the answers. If you get stuck, so Mia was getting stuck on one of them this morning. She brought it to me. I found her typo. It's normally just a tiny sign error. We fixed it. Now she can get the answer. So if you're getting stuck on one, show me, show Ms. Brister, show a friend. I can help you.
I'm stuck on all of them.
You gotta have work. And then I said, oh, Mia, your equation 4 is wrong, and here's why. Otherwise, I'm not psychic. Okay, so the hardest part for this chapter, hands down, is the 3 equations. Now, the good news is we're going to take a test, not tomorrow. Everyone else is taking it tomorrow, but I've been absent, so I feel bad about that. So I hate to do it to you, but I'd rather do a prepared Monday test than a oh crap Friday test.
Tuesday.
Cannot. So we're going to take a test on Monday, and there are 3 equation ones. There are 2 of them. So it's not going to be worth that much, but at the same time, Gracie at least needs to show me, even if she gets stuck, what she's supposed to do. I'm supposed to do elimination with 2 equations and then 2 other equations. I've got new equations. I do elimination with those. I end up getting an answer like z equals 2. I plug it back in, I get the y, I plug it back in, I get the x. She at least needs to show me she understands the process, even if she's not getting the right answer. She'll get, almost all her points for just showing me she understands the process. Okay. While the systems of 3 equations is hard, I'll give you that. You gotta give me this. The word problems are easy. All the word problems we've done have been super easy. Arturo selling 3 lemon pies, 2 chocolate pies. Natalie selling 5 lemon pies and 6 chocolate pies. And then they ask you to figure out the cost of the pies. It's not hard. They've been very easy. Okay. And then I'm not going to lie to you. I think what you did 2 days ago from the video with graphing inequalities, I think that's easy too. So the only really hard thing coming up, because again, Seth has already proven he understands graphing, substitution, and elimination. I know that he can handle the word problems and he can handle the systems of inequalities. The only thing I'm concerned about is the 3 variables, hence why when I get done rambling today, Seth needs to work on his coloring page, because clearly he and I both know he needs some work on that. Okay, so if you are a genius, and you've already been geniusing it, and you've already turned in your coloring page, when I get done rambling, what you should do is, we're going to save the study guide until tomorrow. It's near the end of the packet. If you would like to do the study guide today,
I'm saying numbers.
If you would like to start the study guide today, you can, but we're going to say that that is tomorrow's problem. So if Seth is really, really behind on the coloring page, and he's really stuck on it, he might want to work on the study guide and at least get one of the 2 things completely done. And maybe do the coloring page this weekend. I could forgive that. Okay, but if you're like my one genius who's already turned in your coloring page, or you're one step away from being done with your coloring page, here's the words you always wanted to hear. On the very last page of your packet for this section, there are 2 challenge questions. In fact, these challenge questions require so much space that there's only 1 question on each page. If Mackenzie is brave and she wants to tackle the 2 challenge questions, they're worth 10 points each on the test. 10 points each. Now, I'm going to make exceptions to this rule. If you're going to try the challenge questions, they have to be done and turned in before the end of class tomorrow. I cannot have Mackenzie going home and Googling it all weekend. No. I need Mackenzie to have it done by the end of class tomorrow. So if you want to try the challenge questions, you can. What makes the challenge questions challenging is the fact that instead of 3 variables, we now have 4. And all that means is you've got to keep up with more stuff, use more elimination. Lord knows it's not that hard, but you know how 3 took a lot of time? 4 takes even more time. Yes, baby doll.
Does the other one have 5 variables?
No, the other one also has 4. No, you're right. A, B, C, D, E. It has 5. You're sure you have a point. So, and you know, you're thinking maybe the one with 4 is easier, but I really think the one with 5 is easier. I don't know why. I do know why. The coefficients make this one a little easier to handle. Okay, so if you're my genius who's already finished your coloring page because you're on it, God bless you. God bless you, yes, because that's what I mean. God bless you. If you're almost done, God bless you too. Go ahead and do these challenge problems. I'm telling you, I'm willing to give you 10 points on the test for this. Now, does the 2 challenge problems. Each challenge problem is worth 10 points. So if Braxton does both of them, he gets 20 points. So if he makes a 90 on the test, I'm going to type in a 110 on I now.
What?
Literally. If he does both challenge problems and gets them both correct, he's getting 10 points per problem. So whatever he makes on the test, he can add 20 to. So if he makes a 75, I'm going to type in a 95. If he makes an 83, I'm going to put a 103. Now, you know I've said this, and some people are going to get super focused on that. If you don't have your coloring page done, that's going in the 30% category, and it's our first 30% grade for the second 9 weeks. That should be your main focus today. But if you're almost done with your coloring page, of course, try the challenge problems. Yes, dear.
So the challenge, they got each other in all of them.
I'll probably give you, yeah, it depends on how many variables you're able to solve for.
Okay.
I will have mercy on your soul, and you just trying to at least meet you 2. Okay, you know what, I'm tired of rambling, and you need time to get work done, and I need time to help you get your work done, because clearly films are stuck. So we're supposed to do 8 through 10 today on the math workshop. We'll just save this till tomorrow. You either need to be working on your coloring page, the challenge problems, and I've got some who are going to fix their check blank.